Hi everyone, my name is Cy Rodriguez, and I recently had the privilege of interviewing Susan Smith Jones, PhD, one of America's favorite motivational speakers, health educators, and author of over 26 books on holistic health, including her three latest titles, Recipes for Health Bliss, Walking on Air, and The Joy Factor. I think that you'll agree with me that her enthusiasm and insight into how we can all choose to live a vibrantly healthy, balanced life is refreshing and inspiring. As you are listening to this brief excerpt, you might want to visit Susan's website, www.susansmithjones.com. The entire interview is available on the homepage of her website. And now I hope you enjoy these few moments as Susan shares her knowledge about the healing power of raw foods, herbs, and spices. Now, I know one of the things you're always working with is food and herbs and spices. So I just wanted to open that up to talk a little bit about that subject because I know that you could really give us some great insight.
Well, you know, I could talk to you for hours about foods, herbs, and spices, and one of the chapters that I write about in The Joy Factor is about the healing power of the foods you eat. And this chapter focuses on plant-based foods that are rich in color, a rainbow of colors, and it even more specifically focuses on the healing power of eating living or raw foods, and that's chapter 7. It's called Nourish Yourself with Living Foods, and the subtitle of that chapter is I Choose to Support My Own Radiant Health. And I know that the people that are listening now know that there's lots of healing power in eating raw foods. They give you more enzymes, they give you more energy, they give you lots of vitamins and minerals, because every time you heat a food over about, approximately 110 degrees, whether you microwave or steam or broil, bake or grill or roast, whatever you do, you lose the whole life force. You lose all the enzymes in the food, and enzymes are catalysts. They're the spark plugs of life. They're protein molecules that facilitate chemical reactions in virtually every cell, organ, and system in our bodies, from digestion to elimination. And if you eat a completely cooked food diet, you'll age quickly, you'll get all kinds of diseases, and you won't feel your best. So I'm a big believer in emphasizing lots of raw foods in our diet. And I thought what we could do is maybe go over a few of the other reasons you want to add more raw foods into your diet. And, keep in mind that if you go to my website and you go right to the home page and then click on the other purple button that says newsletter. In the January newsletter, I have a wonderful smoothie recipe that will help detoxify and rejuvenate your body. I even have some of my favorite essential eating tips to help you lose any extra weight during this year of 2011. And then I also have why it's important to commit to a program for 3 months, because in 3 months you can create an entirely new you. So you can look at that, and read about it in detail in the January newsletter. But I know you're familiar with the benefits of eating raw foods, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's one of the things I've experimented a lot with, and I don't eat only raw food, but there has been times in my life and long periods of time where I only ate raw food, and I really can appreciate what the benefits are.
Yeah, same here. And usually in the summer when it's warmer, I might go for extended periods of time of only eating raw food, and I see immediately when I eat a diet like that the whites of my eyes become brighter. I have more energy. I feel more positive and optimistic. Not only that, but my skin looks better. I look younger, and while other people around me might not know I'm doing this, I always get lots of comments that, Susan, you look so good. What are you doing? Did you just come back from a 2-week vacation? And then I say, no, I've just been 2 weeks on eating raw foods to rejuvenate and detoxify my body. But besides those things I just mentioned, more enzymes, more energy, more nutrients that you'll get from eating more raw foods. Here are some other reasons to eat raw foods. First of all, you get more phytochemicals. When you eat those raw plant foods, they have an abundance of phytochemicals, and those are nutrients that serve as antioxidants and modulators of the body's defense mechanisms. But many of these are useful to the body only when the foods aren't cooked. Now, let me just think of a couple of examples. I remember there was one study published in the Journal of Agriculture and Food Chemistry, and it was found that the anti-cancer compound called sulforaphane that was bioavailable in broccoli, it was bioavailable at a rate of 37% if the broccoli was eaten raw, but only at a rate of 3.4% if it was cooked. And another study comes to mind that was done at the Roswell Park Cancer Institute in Buffalo. And you know, you don't need to take notes because this is all in my book. And researchers found that eating raw broccoli and cabbage slashed bladder cancer by 40%. But they did not find such a protective benefit from eating the same quantity of these cooked cruciferous vegetables. So, in other words, it's better to have it raw than cooked. Now, that doesn't mean you need to eat a 100% raw diet, but make sure you emphasize lots of raw foods in your diet. Now, one exception is lycopene. This is an anti-cancer property, a phytonutrient found in tomatoes and other foods, but especially tomatoes. See, it's more readily released and bioavailable if the tomatoes are cooked. But you know what? Here's another thought, too. The lycopene is equally bioavailable when the tomatoes are raw but blended, like in raw soups or freshly squeezed tomato juice, because the blades of the blender really cut up all of the cells of the food and the fiber and then make that lycopene more bioavailable.